Whoever you are, you have people that are riddled with guilt. I just heard the guilt of what it is that they did to you, what it is that they did not want to stop doing to you, the things they said, the things that they projected out is killing them. These people are riddled with guilt that is killing them, not because they really genuinely feel guilty, but because what they said about you didn't pan out, didn't play out in your reality. And now they're having to feel what it is that they said towards somebody who was wishing them well. Something like that. Listen, welcome to Spiritual Court TV, 24/7, 365, telling the truth, divine judgment, seeking truth, exposing the truth, all the time, broadcasting live on all four corners of this planet and the ones even beyond that. This is a galactic meeting. Bring your higher self. Bring all the versions of yourself because all is well. But if you're returning back, you already knew that. Listen, I love you so much. Let's see what's going on, okay? Something about your ability to adapt. Their inability to adapt to your ability to adapt to certain situations that you don't recognize, that you didn't fraternize with, that you didn't feed into, something like that. The nuclei. That's what I just heard. Getting to the nucleus, getting to the center of the truth. Oh my goodness. You got fear and adaptability. Why are these people riddled with guilt? Why is it that they want you to forgive them? Because they can't forgive themselves for what it is that they did. You forgave these people even when you did not know what they were doing, or maybe you just didn't want to admit it, right? Yeah, maybe, nah, they're not saying that. Nah, they're not doing that. Nah, they would never cross me. And then you decided to never say never. You gave these people a lot of credit when they absolutely did not deserve it. But this is why you're so deserving of that high frequency, because even when they thought that they were pulling the wool over your eyes, you could see yourself in the circumstance, and even your higher self guided you to a level where there absolutely aren't any rebels, because you never rebelled against your higher self. You never went against your good character, right? Whoa, let's see what's going on, Holy Spirit. Yeah, these people. Spiritual hitman with intention to hurt your spirit, to hit your spirit, to hit your soul. Somebody was aiming for your soul. Somebody wanted to get to the nuclei, the middle. They wanted you to be on the spectrum and play dumb to their ignorance, or be dumb. I just heard be blinded to their ignorance, intention to harm. These people are freaked out because they're trying to figure out, how is it that you know? And how is it that the truth came to you right on time? Again, people who seek divine judgment, divine truth speakers and seekers who walk in the truth will always know. And what we don't know, we will absolutely soon find out. It'll be at the right time, not a moment before, not a moment later, but it'll be at a time that we have divine intervention, so much so that we can change the outcome. Like when you walk away from people who have intentions to hurt you spiritually, mentally, physically, you're literally canceling out a narrative that can no longer exist. The moment you turn your back to whatever this is, it's no longer, it's what it was, it doesn't exist, something like that. You never went against your own good character. For people that lack decent character, something about you doing the energy work. These are energy vampires. Now they're riddled with guilt. They need you to forgive them because they don't have the ability to forgive themselves because they did the unforgivable. If it was the other way around, which it never could have been. That's what Spirit just says. That thought, that notion could have never existed. But if it was the other way around, They would not have been so forgiving. And this is why they can't forgive each other. This is why they can't forgive themselves. But you forgave yourself for giving these people too much credit. Now they're feeling insecure, doubtful, envious. That's a cold ass combination. That's a nice, nasty pot of jealousy and envy all stirred up, mixed together. So what did you do? Well, you transformed. You're the butterfly. You went through a transformation. You're an energy worker. You know what to do with all energy, good, bad, and or indifferent. Always searching within first and then looking at the external. So when internally your character was in alignment with decency and order and love and authenticity, you didn't need to make excuses for why you needed to move away from people who didn't mirror back to you your good intentions. You simply honored yourself by way of moving away, walking away from people that were dedicated to chaos. These are vampires. They can't feed. They can't get any energy. Yeah, I can't make this up. They think that you are God, supreme being, reincarnated, supreme being, creator, divine deity creator, my creator, divine collectives creator. There's nothing bigger than that, nothing even greater. That is the highest of the heights. That is coming from the high table. That is the higher font, higher standard. Something about spiritual law, respectfully. Yeah. I just heard, even in the middle of these people and their ignorance, you were optimistic, you were protected, you walked away. You never went against your good character. You never allowed the circumstances to change you. That's what I just heard. Into people that from this standpoint you see is very peculiar, abnormal. Where's the line? Where's the spectrum? These people thought that you were dumb. You know, sometimes you see people that are so nice, so happy, that you're like, are they okay? Because their happiness seems peculiar to people who invite nothing but chaos, who feel like everybody has problems. You're somebody that says, no, everybody that I'm around has solutions. And so that's what manifests for you. There's nothing that can come our way that we can't handle. You accept the spiritual law from the divine. I got everything on the inside of me to handle anything on the external. If the necessary external occurs, smells like a familiar family member that's being dismembered, that's being dismantled by their own semantics because you were a good Samaritan. That's what I just heard. You upheld the law. I just heard little Mr. and Mrs. Goody Two Shoes. It's better to listen, let me tell you something. It's better to have on a pair of good shoes than to be walking barefoot with no connection to the earth. Just call me Mrs. Good Shoes, Mrs. Goody Good Shoes. These people couldn't even get their laces tied because they didn't have on any shoes. And their souls are not being recognized by the grids within the earth because of their nastiness. Now they're just watching, riddled with guilt. The guilt is killing them, literally. Oh, that's crazy. Stalking, spying, unconditional love, something about a mothering energy, something about divine mother, divine father within, something about a good connection. Okay, so you broke some type of generational curse. Okay, this could be a curse of divorce, separations and families, dysfunction, chaos. Yeah, you did. You said the buck stops here. Those curses can go no further. My children's 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 children will never know those curses. Something about you being empowered. Okay, implementing your empowerment, going within and enlightenment, and you tapped into the ancient inheritance. This is what somebody wanted. That was their intention. This is the reason they wanted to harm you. Okay, so whoever this sibling is, yeah, they did too much. Okay, somebody's a body shamer as well. Somebody could have talked about you. Okay, I just heard gluttony or something like that, or somebody was trying to speak something onto you. Maybe in their mind, you're too big, you're too small. It's something like that. Body dysmorphia, somebody's scope of how they see themselves is not a good way of seeing themselves. And this is why they wanted you to see yourself a certain way. These people are really angry that no matter what they did, no matter what they said, they couldn't change the scope of how you saw yourself. Because when you see yourself, you see creator. I and the creator are one. I and my Abba, I and my mother are one. My father's house is well. My father's house is debt free. That's my bloodline on my father's side. And my mother's house is well with me. It has no choice to be well with me. That's my divine mother within. All the debts have been settled. That is my twin flame ignited within. And so the external is now bringing you in some type of relationship that these people can interfere in. They can't get close to you. They're not close enough to see what it is that you have going on. What is blinding them? It's unconditional self love for yourself. But for them, you have conditions. Why? Because they're chaotic. Under no condition can you come this way with all that self doubt, insecurity, and chaos. It's a no. They're watching you on the internet. They could be calling your phone. They're stalking you. They're riddled with guilt. It's eating them alive. Yeah, I just heard the guilt is killing them literally, or at least this is how they feel. One of your siblings, could be a sister, a brother, a mother, they slept with somebody that you were in a relationship with. This is how deeply rooted their hatred went for you. But in order for them to hate you this much, they had to have had at least at a bare minimum this amount of hate for themselves. And that's unfortunate. Self-hate versus self-love, there is no comparison. Okay? You either do or you don't, you will or you won't, or you can or you can't, you shall or you shan't. And somebody is snapping out because remember, this was a dirty little secret. You weren't supposed to know. And if you ever found out, they thought that this would torment you and devastate you and get you out of your character. That's what I just heard. Out of your character means they wanted you to have a very fragmented human experience. While you're awakening with transformation and being a supernatural being, you rose above it. You may have even seen the truth and said, interesting. I kind of felt like you might have messed around with somebody that I laid down with. Maybe you two are perfect for each other because both of you are seeking chaos or something like that. I can't make it up. They sat on the phone for hours talking, talking. Como se dice, talking too much, hablando, working it like a trabajando. They were working it, honey. Clarify what's going on, Holy Spirit. Anything else? Yeah, you are a divine feminine. Look at you. You're looking better. You're feeling better. Why? Because you removed something out of your spiritual diet. Something that was meant to stir up chaos in your environment. These are unforeseen forces that never wanted you to see them for being energies of chaos. Okay? Unforeseen, unseen, unknown. Yeah, these people were smiling in your face all the time. They were behind your back, talking about you, gossip, trash talk. And as soon as you show up, hey, hi, hello. You saw right through it. You walked away, you removed your energy, you called all your light back. You didn't give them anything to talk about. So then when they didn't have anything to talk about, they just started recycling all the old conversations and things from 10 years ago because they really aren't getting the updates. They really don't know what's going on in your life, which is the reason why they're stalking you, gawking at you. Some of them can't stop watching you. They're riddled with guilt. And you know exactly what was said. You know exactly what they did. Third party situation. Somebody's sister slept with their man, or somebody's brother slept with their sister. This could be an ex or whatever. Listen, whatever it is, you're in this good energy. You've accepted everything. The goal was to humiliate you. That's what this is about. But you were supposed to never find out. It was supposed to be a running joke amongst chaos agents that you would never know while they sat in your face and smiled after they slept with your man or your woman. People that do that, in my opinion, are like the lowest of the low. Like they at the bottom of the seabed. Those are scavengers. Those are people that are just waiting for energy, but scavengers, they eat waste, you know scavengers on the bottom of the seabed, oftentimes they wait for the waste, that which is eliminated by way of bodily functions. Yeah, these are shit talkers, eating shit, eating crow now. Literally, as the Spirit just said, come through, Holy Spirit. What is the deal? What is going on? They also put something in your cup, okay? False documentation beats all those fake ass lies and diabolical conversations. Oh, your sister's gonna love that. She's snapping out. Chaos magic. She's mad. She's kicking the wall, kicking the dog, screaming at everybody in the environment. You also got a karmic ass brother here. Yeah, these are familiar family members that can't stop talking about you. They definitely put something in your cup or they fed you something. Okay. This is how deep the hatred went. Because somebody knows that you're chosen. Somebody knows that you're chosen to be great. Okay. They know that. You're naturally creative. You have eternal creativity. You never run out of creative projects. It's never a dull day. It's never a boring moment because you're too creative for that. You're tapped into source. That's the benefits for being one with the creator and allowing what did I just hear? Allowing your creative spark, your divine spark to never be put out by people that wanted to dim your light. That's what I just heard. They wanted to put a damper on your mood. They wanted to bring you down with their nasty energy. Yeah, it's a no. Dense energies that never sought out the light. They wanted to break the rules though. They're mad that you're talking about this. Clarify the throat chakra. Yeah. They're mad that you're talking about this with the lover's energy. Clarify, Holy Spirit. You have a relationship that they can't get close to. You have a relationship that they can't interfere with, okay? Somebody got close to one of your partners, an ex-partner, something like that. Yeah, they got close to this person because this person was for the taking. These people are the same. This is why they ended up in bed together. You transformed and you ascended beyond it. Yeah, they got together because they were better for each other. People like this, you really need to wish them well. They're like, oh yeah, your sister slept with your ex. Be like, oh yeah, they were just the same. Look at them twinning and not winning. It's the guilt. It's eating somebody's ass up alive. Whoever this ex-lover is and whoever this sister or brother is that slept with your ex, they pillow talked about you. That's how deep their hatred went. It's just familiar spirits that got together to do the same old thing, nothing new up under the sun. And they're mad because you know the truth and they're no longer having fun. Yeah, I can't make this up. Some of these people are stuck financially. Look at the way the rats are eating away at what's in the cage or they're attempting to penetrate. These are rats. Yeah, these are bottom feeders. These are rat ass people. Somebody was barebacking. No spiritual protection, no sexual protection, barebacking with the family member. That's a deep level of hate. I don't know anybody in any given place that's a part of my kindred soul tribe that will want to sleep with somebody else's partner in their family or anybody else for that matter. It's weird energy. It's like digging in the trash saying, oh, okay, yeah. Oh, you used to be with my sister or you used to be with my brother. Okay, yeah, let's get in the bed together because they both resonate with hate, lacking self-love. I just heard after they had sex, it didn't make them feel better. Oh man, somebody was in competition with you. I also feel like there was a sibling that wanted to prove that they were better sexually than you. This is how insecure somebody is. The guilt is eating them alive. It's killing them literally, okay? Isolation, abandonment, and or alone. So you left these people alone in their chaos. Yeah. Where else were they supposed to be? Because your intuition was right. You always knew. I love that. Don't you love when people think that they're bringing in the element of surprise? Smiling in your face, lying through their teeth. Now somebody is toothless. Yeah. And they think that you don't know, but your intuition is on point. You talk to the divine. Look at creativity, ingenuity, and lover. I can't make this up. You were absolutely correct. Yeah, look. Somebody that was born rejected, sad, mad, living out a dense life, living out karma, who wanted to, some people spent the block to satisfy their karma. But instead of satisfying their karma, they just go down a dark, slippery road, slipping into darkness, making bad decisions yet again. This is what this is. Somebody was supposed to come back to learn self love. And this is why you were born into that family, to show them self love. Something about you always building somebody up, and now they want you to heal them. They still are ass backwards. Because even if somebody extended their hand to help you, they always had an ulterior motive. It's like somebody giving you something and then running and telling everybody what they did for you. That's conditional love, under the condition that you be a slave to their chaos. That's what I just heard. It's that kind of person. Oh, you want me to help you? Okay, yeah, you could stay here for a year. And then they bother you, they stalk you, they torment you, they go through your things, they talk about you after you leave, or they put you out. This is this kind of person. They call everybody and tell them what they did for you. Okay. Yeah, I remember. She was living with me. He was living with me. They ate up all my food. And then when the gossip doesn't fly and it doesn't match your current lifestyle or who you've become, they just make some stuff up. Yeah, she was stinking, never cleaned my bathtub. Yeah, the floor was nasty. They just start stacking on the lies because it's really about redirecting their insecurities so that people don't know that they are the problem. Whenever you see people that got problems with everybody, it's 100% chance that they are the problem. You can't be mad at every doggone body. Everybody pissed you off. The lady at Walmart, the lady in the drive-thru at Starbucks. And you sound like somebody that's just not committed to being decent or happy. This person is mad. They wanted your star, okay? The reason why this person slept with one of your lovers is because you always make them feel insecure around their partners. And all their partners are just like them. All their partners have cheated on them, or they took people from other people, so they were always insecure. How you get him, how you get her is how you lose them. And somebody was always insecure with their lovers around you, but you're a decent person. It was really your light. But somebody slept with your ex-lover because they really wanted to hurt you. And they thought that this would be a secret that you would never find out. Now they're stalking you, riddled with guilt, and they're lying too. They're still lying about it. It's somebody that doesn't know how to tell the truth, okay? I just heard they're being choked out, choked up. Somebody could be trying to talk and they can't even talk because the lies ain't adding up. Because people that were on the receiving end, this is the kind of person that looks for certain people to share information with. Or people could be asking about you, like, where's collective? You know what I mean? Or something like that. Something is a mismatch. Something that was said about you and gossip and trash and lies is not matching up to your life. Look at your energy. Great intuition, creativity, ingenuity, genius ideas, beautiful imagination, supreme being lover, destiny, fated to do something great. Fortune is on your side. Abundance is coming in. You have the power by way of empowerment, meaning you're not trying to overpower anybody. You're simply standing confidently, 10 toes down in your own light. And the earth is recognizing your soul power because you're connected to everything in nature, very much respectfully. You are the divine feminine. You are abundant. You are fertile, and you're radiant and you're beautiful. Something about true commitment, pure happiness. and gratitude, optimism. The promises from the universe are coming into manifestation, and you're making good wishes, and you know that your wishes are going to come true. Something about the divine creative spark in you that just keeps getting brighter and brighter. And look at unconditional love with mother and child. You're mothering yourself. You mothered your inner child back to health, back to wealth, exactly the way that it was always supposed to be. This is what you came back to do. This is the reason you spent the block on purpose in this purpose to receive this abundance. You were never fooled by way of the false illusions of light in the afterlife. You came back and you said, okay, I got an idea, a simple thought process that seemed to be too complicated for these people to wrap their minds around. These are feeble minds. These are feeble-minded people. Interesting. I heard a thought. I don't know where they're running to. Running from themselves. They can't ride. They can't ride with you, and they can't run from what it is that they've done. This is a ride or die energy. You're no longer riding or dying for anybody that don't want to change. Oh no. Yeah, you called your energy back. Running, avoidant. This person is a runner. They avoid responsibility. But they can't ride with you. It's a ride or die situation. These people thought that you were going to ride with them and die with them because you were so nice. They thought you were gullible. Yeah, they can't run from themselves. Everywhere they go, there's what they said, there's what they did. It's somebody that sees the worst in everything. So now the worst has come to pass. Oh man, you can't hide from what you said, because everywhere you go, there it is. Chaos. They saw the worst in everything. They saw the worst for you, or so they thought, but they weren't thinking. Their thought process is now an afterthought. Who would have thunk it? Not them. They didn't see that coming. You're somebody that's divinely protected. While they're misaligned and redirected, you were redirected to go towards peace and happiness. Look at the divine ancestors celebrating you. They're so proud of you. They're so happy. Well, what else, Holy Spirit? Is there anything else here? Wow. Wow. Yeah, these are people that want to emotionally manipulate you, but your intuition is too spot on. It's a joke, but it's not funny. And that's making them mad. Yeah, that's crazy. Emotional manipulation, corruption, bribe, and coercion. They want you to heal them. They want some of whatever you got. They want some of whatever you've worked for. Okay. But they never showed up to the job. They never did the work. They want whatever this is that you're getting, but they never did the work. Yeah, that's what I just heard. Corruption, bribe, and coercion. So you're not going into any type of false illusions of a decent contract. You know, when you give your money to certain people, that's a spiritual contract. You're connecting to their finances. Well, currently, these people finances are broke because gossiping doesn't pay that much, especially when it's trash talking and it's lies. It always backfires. And people are looking at their lifestyle. They don't look like they got it together. They don't look like they know where they're going. They don't look like they know what they're saying. Their lives don't reflect what it is that they projected out, which was lies and gossip. Too busy in the bed with an ex-lover talking about you, thinking that they were going to get somewhere. That didn't work out. Now they're running. It's a whole liar out here. I feel like somebody wanted to wear your skin. That's a different level of hatred. You know, it really is. It takes a lot of self-love to restrain yourself from getting into dense energies with these level of dark intensities when somebody sleeps with somebody that you used to be with. That's another level of hatred. It's insidious. It's demonic. It's diabolical. It's envy, it's jealousy, all stirred up into a cup of poison. And then somebody wanted you to take a drink from this poisonous cup. You're like, nah, you can keep that. Now they wonder why they're dying. Yeah, now they wonder why guilt is eating them alive. Mm-mm. That's crazy. Somebody's parents could be significant, okay? You got sibling and you got parents and you got unconditional love. Somebody feels like your mother liked you more, okay? Or something like that. Or your mother hasn't been the same since you left. That's what I just heard. Yeah, something like that. You know, sometimes you have children that are more of the idea of what you wanted them to be by way of co-creation when you made them. You know, when a child is born, you know, you see them, you, oh, such a beautiful baby, or maybe you adorn them with compliments and you put all that you can into them. You want them to be the best at whatever they need to be the best at in life, and you wish them well. Somebody feels like mama always liked you better. That's what I just heard. I could have never have been you. So maybe this was a part of why somebody felt insecure. But in truth and reality, I feel like when you walked away from these people, somebody had to deal with the fact that it was never really you that was the problem. It was always them. Because now that I'm gone, what more can you say? Somebody got real creative with their lives. They should have taken that creativity and created a better version of themselves. If I were them, of which I'm glad I'm not, that's what I would have done with my time. But that's too much like, right? That's what I just heard. So they decided to go left. They decided to go wrong. They didn't want to make a right. Mr. and Mrs. Right and Wrong. Mr. and Mrs. Wrong got on two left shoes in the Quagmire's energy. Now somebody is two stepping backwards, trying to run forward. Knock-kneed and bow-legged and pigeon-toed at the same doggone time. How's it that your big toe is making a left turn, but your other big toe on your right foot is making a right turn? There's a lot going on. Somebody's walking in a circle. Quagmire energy, this is a trap. Somebody was always hating on how you look. Okay, this is somebody like that. You got the good genes, I didn't. It's that type of energy. It's all an illusion. I just heard psychosomatics, psychocybernetics. It's mental, it's genetic. Somebody could have inherited some type of toxic brown germ from the father's side. You know how the DNA sometimes just doesn't splice? Yeah, I just heard we got different daddies. Little Mr. Peppermint Patty. Okay, let's just calm all this down, man. Yeah, look, I can't make this up. For you, you're a divine masculine, and somebody always felt like you were the cool one. You always knew what to say. You could be the older, the middle child, the sibling, the stepsister, the other sister from another mister, whatever this is. Somebody always felt like you knew what to do. You always knew what to say. You could also be the youngest sibling, okay? Who was the more of the bigger sister to the older sister. The older sister, older brother was supposed to protect you, but instead they were too busy being mad that mama had another baby. That's what I just heard. The day you came home was the day my life was over. Listen, somebody got mad as soon as mama came home with that new little baby. Here, hold your brother, hold your sister. No. Little trifling ass sibling, you've been evil since the day you were born. You've been evil since you were 6 years old, okay? The day mama brought you home, that's what I just heard. Somebody was mad. They weren't getting all the attention anymore. Yeah, I can't make this up. Peace wanted to come up in the reverse. This person feels like you disrupted their peace. This is a karmic spirit. This somebody that did the same thing in the last lifetime. This somebody that did the same thing in the last lifetime. You came into this life to bring balance and adaptability by way of the earthly experience. It's not that complicated. Don't go breaking the rules. Don't break that which is broken. Somebody tried to break your soul. Yeah, you can't break my soul. You can't break my soul. Soul is not for sale. This person wanted to break your soul. When you sleep with somebody that your sister or your brother slept with, Oh my God, you trying to break somebody's soul. Oh man, somebody was sold on the idea and they're so mad that you know and you don't give a damn, like for real. When nobody's watching, you still don't give a you still don't give a damn. Like for real. Like you really don't give a damn. Mm-mm. I ain't got no dams. I'm fresh out of dams. You start patting your pockets. You like, yeah, I ain't got no more dams on me. Yeah, this person's peace was disrupted the day you were brought home from the hospital. So this could be an older sibling. Hell, this could be a younger sibling. This could be all your siblings. Yeah, I just heard they not like us. Yeah, you're somebody that never felt like you knew who the hell these people were. You ever been sitting around familiar people by way of a contract, also known as family members, and you just feel so out of place? You like, this my mom? That's my dad, that's my sister, that's my brother. Like you just feel like you just got plopped into a family. You like, how did I end up here? Then you find yourself and you like, oh, okay. Then these spiritual contracts, they start to make sense. You're like, oh, that's how I ended up here. Okay, well, let me close these things out. Peace be with you. Adios, arrivederci. Because people like this can end your life. People like this will stop your destiny. People like this only get worse. Why? Because the impersonation end of it, the shape shifting end of it, these are people that you openly love. So in your face, they're impersonating your light. They're replicas of authentic light. They're impersonating the love that you're giving to them, which is unconditional. But when you awaken and you ascend, it then becomes conditional. You're like, yeah, I got conditions on my love. You can't just keep running around being this rejected, abandoned ass, wandering soul, thinking that you're going to tear up everything that's good. It's a no, indefinitely, forever. Yeah, it's crazy. What are they running from, spirit? They're running. They're running from the truth. Yeah. They're fraudulent. They're fake. They're phony. These are people that have been phony. Yeah. What is this? What is this since the day you came home from the hospital? Yeah, somebody is crazy. There's somebody that manipulated your energy as a sibling. They manipulated your parents. They blamed everything on you. Something like that. That's what I just heard. A charlatan, a trickster. Somebody always wanted you to be seen as the one that wasn't the star. Somebody was always mad and angry when you bounced back. Okay. If you had gone through things, we all go through things. Maybe you lost a job or maybe something happened to you. Or, remember, you got somebody constantly in the background praying for chaos too, right? And then when you're close to these people and you're sharing what's going on, you're like, yeah, this happened. And yeah, I lost my car. And, 3 days later, the Most High God put you in a brand new car. They didn't see that part. So now they're mad because they're praying for chaos. Chaos happens, but you're divinely protected. And I'm only using that as an example. Remember, these are people impersonating authentic love and light, making it appear as though it's unconditional, but it's very conditional for them. The conditions is chaos. They want that to manifest in your life. So they silently pray behind the scenes. And then they come in and they're like, oh, they impersonate false illusions of love and pure light. These are trickster energies. These are deceptive people. They're fraudulent. So when you walked away, I just heard silently, you bowed out gracefully. That was the hardest blow to their ego. It's one thing when you face somebody and you have a conversation and there's closure, you know, when you look somebody that's a narcissist in the eye and you say, I know that you're a raggedy, dirty ass bastard, and you'll always be that. Maybe they feel as though speaking your mind would have softened the blow, but in fact, you didn't dignify these people with a response by way of your own dignity. You didn't feel that they deserved it. So you just walked away and bowed out gracefully. I just heard your silence is what's suffocating them. It's what's stifling them in life. They can't get away. And somebody is replaying over and over sexual events that they had with somebody they never wanted you to know they slept with. Isn't that crazy? Now they can't stop thinking about it. Yeah. I just heard it's driving them to think, driving them to think, driving them to drink. Somebody thought they had a victory over you. Now they feel like a failure. There's somebody that slept with your person and then they wanted to sit up and talk to you about the breakup. Very, very weird, very, very nasty energy. Okay. They don't feel like they won here. They don't feel successful. They thought they had one up on you, only to end up abandoned, isolated, and alone, running from themselves in a circle. Everywhere they go, they see what it is that they've done. This is what they've manifested for themselves. Even their higher self knows that they need to see all of this nastiness. But what happens to your higher self when you put out your divine spark? These people can't forgive themselves because they're unforgiving. Yeah. Don't project that mess this way. Look at this here. Don't project that mess out to us. Oh, no, 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 no. Why do you think somebody's running? This is empathy, sympathy, sadness. No. And you know what's so interesting? Once you ascend to a certain level, you can't feel any of this. The gossip was projection. The pillow talk with your ex, that was projection. The poison they put in your cup. The dark contracts, the bearing false witness. Now they're stalking you. Electronics, internet, computers, they could be calling you too. Somebody's got the wrong number. It's like somebody talking about you real bad and then they call to see how you sound when you answer the phone, but they don't say anything. You know, they talk bad about you and then you answer the phone. Hello. They even get quiet to hear the background, you know, to see if your life is awful, if you're tormented. You know, they want to hear what's going on. They might hear some music going on in the background, or they might not hear anything at all. So when they call you and they don't say anything, you know, you're like, hey, hello, is anybody there? Okay, these are these kinds of people. They're playing on the phone. Okay, they want to hear your voice. Some of them want to know if you're still alive after they tried to poison you energetically. Oh man, you cut the line from the ex-lover and them. You don't feel these people at all. Hell no. Clarify what's going on, Holy Spirit. Yeah, I can't make this up. It was a false partnership anyway. Okay, that was a part of your awakening. Whoever the ex is that slept with your family member, this is not somebody that you were supposed to be with. You're just simply passing through. You settled out karmic debts, okay? Why did these people end up in the bed together? Again, because they're just like each other. They simply gravitated to other familiar spirits. Something like that, okay? What else? They better put the candle out. Somebody tried to hex you, curse you too. Oh man, these people always try to add a little razzle dazzle. What are they going to do with that chaos magic? Somebody was hoping that things went bad for you, and you just keep shining. You just standing here looking good. Look at you. You're looking amazing. You're looking very curvaceous. If you're a guy, you're looking amazing. Your star is shining bright. You can see your star from wherever these people are while they sitting in the dark, but they can't touch it. Yeah, access has been granted to the next level. Look at your spirit team, light team. Come through, spirit team. I just heard the biggest spiritual setback for these people is that they could never change your character. These people did things on purpose with bad intentions to hurt you and destroy you. They even said that you would always come back. You made them comfortable in that because your love was pure. They wanted to play over your top. What really is eating them alive is that not only did this not change your character for the worse, it made you a better person. You're better now than you've ever been, and you keep on getting better. Wow. Yeah, copycat. Them copycats are having the worst time right now. They don't even have a reflection. Even when they're trying to project, they ain't got no projection. They ain't got no reflection. There's nothing going on inside. There's no divine spark. They wanted the cheat code. If I sleep with this person that they slept with, maybe I can get their energy. Like they didn't get the download. Somebody just took on parasites. Then you've been purged of. That's what I just heard. And mad because you can see them. And now everybody's talking about them. They feel like everybody's gossiping about them. That's a state of paranoia. That's their own guilt eating away at them. Everything that they projected out when they thought they were able to stop your energy from going through this high awakening is everything that they're seeing. So now they feel exposed. They feel like people are watching them. They feel like everybody knows what it is that they've done. They're telling on themselves without knowing because they never knew. They couldn't be you. That's what I just heard. Yeah, this is a thief. These are vampires, okay? They can't feed off of your energy because your bloodline has been purified and your DNA has been updated. And that's just what it is. Listen, remember to take what resonates, leave what does not. We're going to close this door and seal the deal. Another successful day in spiritual court by way of the cosmic courts co-signing to this reading. I am eternally grateful. Thank you for watching Spiritual Court TV, and I will be back with more intense readings. I'll see you then. Peace be with you.